Hello, and welcome to another episode of Curse of Strahd. Some special sound effects provided today by Arcanix at his YouTube channel, which I'll post eventually. And for now, I'll just give you guys, however, the nice background noise of some standard D&D fare rainy, because that's exactly what happens right when you get back to the tavern. Is it starts to rain rather kind of profusely, rather intensely. The town is very quiet. All of the banners have been picked up. People have started to go inside. Stalls and vendors are starting to go away. Everyone is starting to really just close in because no one really wants to get that wet because it's raining pretty hard.
Hmm.
Isark and Ariana manage to make it back with you, and they both head to the church for protection, obviously, from Strahd. You all head back to the inn to get out of the weather, and the Royal Ravens thank you, and you thank them, and they say that they will be on standby, but that they have to go do something. Ettori and Chitron also seem to be missing when you get back to the inn. They said they had to go off and do something, but they didn't tell you what it was, and they weren't very specific about it at all. But they went off with the Rare Ravens, and something is happening out there. But they're both very capable individuals, and they're with a group of Were Ravens, so you assume nothing bad will happen to them, at least for the most part. So, you are in the inn, relaxing, recovering from a rather intense battle with a beholder.
I mean, I was scared, but
Well, Sir Led Belcher, that's not the introduction I was hoping for, but that's what we've been kind of dealing with. Bit of an
A whole
extreme.
load of crap of shite, I'm gonna say. But
Bit,
good thing I'm around. I'll try to help you.
well, we thank you. So, hopefully, with the mayor deposed, the werewolves will stop attacking the town, and maybe they can get some dealings going on, to, or at least leave each other alone. Because there's enough conflict in this place already.
didn't
Uh,
Goat get
So,
hammered?
You did say you wanted to do some drinking, and yeah, you failed your
I
save, so
failed two of my three. Yep.
Goat is a little bit out of it.
uh, go. Oh,
Chugging
oh
her,
my.
chugging her sixth mug.
Go, please. Uh, I mean,
It's good.
you're entitled to it, I suppose. You did just kind of help save the town, but be aware
What
of
a
your
hero. Fucking
limits,
number
child.
one. I'm gonna stand on this table. Move. I'm standing on this table. I need to like a hero. Awkwardly starts trying to climb up on a table.
Clem's gonna begrudgingly help her on the table, just so, and then help her get down as soon as she tries to get down, so she doesn't break her fucking legs.
um,
Sorry, Goat, we have to put you down.
let
Oh,
Belcher just calmly, slightly swaying from the alcohol, but clearly still mostly in control of his faculties, goes over and goes, "Here you go, lass. You should eat that. It'll help you mop up some of the stuff." And he
Eh,
hands her half a piece of bread and a rather nice and tasty sausage.
looks dead for 2 seconds. Starts eating. I'm the fucking best. I save all you fucking kick
go.
everyone's ass.
Yes,
Go.
yes, my dear, you were very
Thank you.
impressive. Let's go here. And he's sort of very friendly uncle-like, sort of cajoling her back to a seat.
By the way, all of you notice the door to the inn is actually open, and you can hear the rain kind of falling outside and barely tapping on the roof. But another thing you notice is that it's very hot. It's almost like a tropical, like for those of you who have been in tropical storms, when it's raining
Fucking
very,
idiot.
very heavily and it's very, very humid and hot. It's actually very warm. The temperature increased very heavily from what it was the previous day.
Why is it hot? Clem, cast cold spell.
Now,
Do cold
I-
magic.
Is
Go.
that usual for this area? I thought we
Ah.
were more north up for such monsoony sort of
Ah,
things.
to be honest, Sir Leadbelcher, it's usually been cold. This wet heat is very new to me. Granted, I don't know what the seasons are like in this place. Probably whatever he wills it to be, but still, kind of odd.
Mighty queer.
And no, goat. I am a cleric of the forge, not of the weather.
Drunkenly, kind of blinks. Fucking no AC casting.
Besides, the most predominant worshippers of divine magic that involve weather usually involve thunderstorms, so they wouldn't help you much either way. Just keep drinking the cold drink, you'll be fine.
It's just hot. I'm made of wool. It's bad. Everything's bad.
Well, if you really want to be shaved, we can make an appointment for that later. I think we've hit a low point where we can afford such niceties.
Come to think of it, and sorry if I'm being a bit impertinent, young lady, but how do you cool off? More like us humanoids, or more like goats do?
Usually just what do I do when I want to be cool? Oh yeah, usually if it's really hot and I'm trying to work, I just start doing this, and she starts unbuttoning her shirt.
Go, please. Don't
It's
The- the-
hot.
don't expose yourself to the
It's-
nice
there-
people here.
What? I got what? It's nothing. Nothing that none of you have saw before from your moms or something.
Go. It is
But
quite
there's
different.
propriety. Oh, good. That's what I. Never mind. And he grabs himself a nice cold drink.
Oh, thank you. Neat.
See what I mean? Ain't nothing that you ain't seen from your mom before.
With
wait,
all
what?
due respect, my mother wasn't a goat centaur.
Clem is going to hastily try and cover you up while looking away, blushing. Now go, young. Please, look. I know you're trying to celebrate, and you did a damn fine job the past few days, but this please.
If you don't want to see boob, then make it cold.
Oh, let me look at my spell list.
Davenkeeper,
Da-da-da-da-da.
have you got any cold water in your cellar?
Do I even have cold spells? Protection, I can create food and water.
I mean, you could just create water. Say that you create it kind of cold, just and then just.
I'm a forged cleric. I'm all about heat. I don't see any cold spells.
After she sees you looking through your Bible and you're just a sweat beads for, and she's just gonna. Failed. And
Goat.
yes.
You feel your body. Actually, roll me a. Actually, you're unaware of this, so roll me a dex save at disadvantage.
What's going on?
Wilhelm scream.
I got a 12.
Okay, that is not enough.
Most DCs are higher than that.
So you feel your body temperature cool down, and you feel yourself cool quite a bit.
But from where?
It's at this point that he finally makes himself known. Merrick, who was standing by one of the pillars in the tavern, comes by, and he's just finishing up the incantation of the spell. And he says, "Well, hope that helped." This is Merrick is the drow that you guys have been speaking to.
Yeah.
Hit me with another.
Uh.
He looks down at his ring of spell storing, realizes he doesn't have that many more slots, looks back up at Goat, gives a nod, picks up a bucket from under the table that is filled with very cold water, and just splashes you in the face, Goat.
What's his name
Tharok
again?
just bursts with laughter.
That's one way to do it, I suppose.
Calculating if I should be mad or not care.
Question: what's the elf's name again?
Garrick. Or sorry, Merrick. Maric. I know, I'm horrible with names.
No, I'm surprised I haven't written them down in my notes section for this long. I'm kind of feel bad. This is like the 5th time we've talked to him.
And I think Goat sobered up a bit.
Nice to see you again, Merrick. Everything going all right?
Oh, everything's been pretty quiet here, actually. If anything, it's been a little bit boring. I mean,
Well, boring's good.
I heard you guys did some kind of commotion over there. What exactly happened? He sits down.
Question.
Sits down in the chair. He sets down a couple pints of ale for everyone. And he kind of sits down and starts sipping his.
Question, DM. How busy is the tavern at the moment?
Tavern is quiet. You guys are the only patrons besides
gotcha.
him. Now, granted,
minor regicide.
Granted, with your guys' passive perception, you notice this. There is only one other patron in the bar right now. So there's you guys, the bartender Izera, and there's one other patron besides Merrick. There's a patron that you kind of noticed. At first you didn't really see him, but now you notice him. He is a very large dragonborn with extremely dark and heavy looking plate mail. He stands about maybe 6'4", and it looks like he's about maybe 300 pounds of muscle.
Does a passive 18 insight give me any bearing on him just at a glance?
He appears to be fairly passive. He's not, he doesn't appear to be hostile or even looking at you guys very intently until he sees Merrick going over and talking to you. And now he seems to be observing you guys somewhat intently. But there appears to be no, it's not a hostile intent. It's more of a curious onlook.
Yeah, okay. Clem's just gonna put in his mind, another poor soul stuck here. We'll inform him about the thing later. Right now, Merrick. Merrick, long story short, Clem is going to pass one of the many incriminating letters of guilt of the mayor to Merrick's side. We found, solid evidence of the man's debauchery.
Merrick kind of raises his eyebrows a bit and starts reading through some of the papers, and he gives a nice little whistle, and he says, "Ooh, hoo, hoo, this is juicy." And you say you found this in his house. Ooh.
And when confronted, he uh, changed a bit thanks to the man over yonder upstairs.
Merrick immediately looks up and raises one eyebrow. Changed?
Yes, into a floating meatball with eyes.
Say what now?
It's
Are you
Scott,
saying are you saying that he turned into a beholder?
because of the man in question that kept us, that's keeping us all here. Yes, he, from our knowledge, he thought it was very entertaining.
Well,
And,
Merrick kind of shakes his head and he says, "Well, it's not the weirdest thing I've seen, but damn."
but we rescued our compatriots, rescued the prisoners he had unlawfully kept in his manor.
Indeed, I did that. I actually just got back from speaking with them over at the church. Interesting people. We had a lot of business to discuss.
And now,
Those two are definitely people we can trust here. That's for sure.
oh, oh, of course, you've met them before even you actually.
Indeed. I actually wanted to ask you something about that. Tell me, I think we discussed this a little bit at first, but your friend, the one with the gun there, was a little bit, well, I'll
Yes,
be blunt. He was very racist to me, being a drow, but
yeah,
nonetheless,
I
I didn't get a chance.
apologize.
I didn't get a chance to ask you, where are you all from again? Outside of here, of course.
Well, I am I am personally from the small town of Tamtos. Uh, Bots, what's the realm called we're at? It's not Forgotten Realms, even though I kept calling it
Well,
that for a
the
while.
city that you guys were in was Waterdeep, and
Waterdeep,
the whole area where you were is the Sword Coast.
Sword Coast. Uh, we, myself and our little troop, except with the exception of Taviel and Leadbelcher, because they are new recruits, we were all originally from Waterdeep, which is in the place called the Sword Coast.
He nods and he says, "I know of it. I'm I'm from there myself." Um,
Oh,
Interesting. And tell me, have you ever stopped by the the DNA Adventurers Guild?
that's the one where we're from, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, we are actually members of said
He,
organization, and Clem's gonna flash his little badge.
as you pull it out and flash it, he reaches into his pocket and he looks up at you with a big smug look on his face, and he flashes his badge from the DNA Adventurers Guild.
Huh.
And then he finally nods and he looks on over at the Dragonborn and he says, "Grast, it's all right." And he snaps his fingers and motions over.
Oh,
And you see the Dragonborn stand up and he comes on over and sits. This guy is massive. Like, he's not wide, but like he's got so much, like, how do I describe this? Like, he
gir-
is almost as tall as
girth.
the he's almost as tall as the mountain, but he's not as wide. He's almost more solid. Like, if you imagine what the mountain looks like, the guy who plays the mountain from Game of Thrones, imagine
Yeah,
him as a dragonborn, but not quite as wide, but even more thick, shall we say.
he just he's just stocky.
Yeah, he's just like and he sits down. Howdy. How y'all doing? It seems that we're all members of the same place. You have to excuse us. For a while there, we had a little bit of suspicions after what happened in the hills over there. My name
No,
is
you are entirely fine.
my name is Grast. I am also a member of the DA Guild. This is Merrick. I'm sure you know Merrick, though. He tends to make himself
Come
introduced. Merrick,
on.
Merrick just kind of sits there drinking ale, like.
Yes. I am Clem Taskin of House Taskin. Right here is the lovely lady goat.
You turn
In
around, hang on, because we've been typing. you turn around and you see freaking Lead Belcher trying to rip a towel out of Goat's mouth as she's just refusing to give it back.
Which he had offered to her so that she could dry herself, even saying, silly girl, this is, this is cotton, not grass. Stop
She's
eating it. And
America.
now, because this just happened, he produces a super sharp axe and so basically like a Bowie knife, and 2/3 down, he just cuts through it because he's so
Okay,
fed up.
both you and Goat roll me a strength check.
No, he said just cut it.
I know, no. It's you're balancing yourselves due to the. So actually, roll me a dexterity check, both of you.
Yeah.
Lead
these
Belcher, 1d10 plus 4. Goat, roll your dexterity check.
I
Or-
forgot
or-
what it's called, but like sudden loss of balance or
Wait,
whatever.
when I get advantage because I have 4 fucking legs.
Sure.
Do I get
Okay, so 10.
advantage? Why? Because what I am,
So-
I'm built different.
I mean, that was
I
a
don't
D.
think I could fall.
Sorry, I meant D20. Lead Belcher, roll a D20 plus.
Oh,
Yeah, the dwarfs get nerfed. You only roll d10s now.
All right, so 10. So you got to beat a 10, Jason. Can you do it?
Dad, why is the advanced dice roller not working? Ah,
How does everyone else have problems with it but me?
I know. I don't know. I don't have a problem with it either. And hell, I have thousands of problems with Roll20. Glitches every time I get on it.
okay, Dungeon Master, could you do me a favor and quickly roll it for me?
Yep, here we go. 18.
Thank you.
Okay, so Theric, as you cut it, you stumble back and you're okay. You keep your footing. Goat, you land on your butt.
Continues to finish off the rest of the towel.
Um, the lovely lady goat and our newest acquaintance, Sir Leadbelcher.
American Grass is just kind of looking at you guys like, okay. And Grass eventually pipes up and he says, well, we were actually sent to actually go out and look for you guys. You guys have been gone about a week. And we've kind of figured that it had something to do with that fog in this land and everything. And Merrick has kept me up to date on what Mr. Strahd in the castle's been doing. So unfortunately, from what he tells me, we're stuck here until we get
Yeah.
out. That's the bad news. The good news is there are some other members of our guild here. If we can group up with them, we can definitely have a shot. Now, what Merrick hasn't told me is, well, what's your plan? I assume we're going to eventually confront Strahd, right?
Yeah. By the way, sir, could you keep the name dropping to an absolute minimum?
I see. So I assume you guys have a plan to take on Mr. Spooky in the castle.
We plan to, yes. We
It's
for
a,
overarching plan. At least to my knowledge, and granted most of the others are gone doing off something, but we plan to stabilize the surrounding areas, try and make it just a bit better as they can for between morale and just ensuring that they can have a better time here with him gone. We could then muster up some forces and then some to, granted these are very bare bones plans as we are still pretty much in phase one of step one, to storm his place and to depose of him. But
I see.
at the moment, but this town is only quite literally a stepping stone, and thankfully, with the recent absence of the mayor, hopefully the werewolves would stop hurting this town and its supply line, and maybe even help themselves in the future.
Indeed. Me and a few others just got back from speaking to the leader of the werewolves. He
Oh.
promised. He actually promised quite a few things if we managed to shut down Ravenloft. Interestingly enough, he wants to join our guild, and all it costed was that a little bit of payment and removing his werewolf curse. Now that was tough, but luckily I had another member of the guild here helping us out, and she's very good at that. But alas,
Oh,
We did find something out as we were wandering around. Merrick, you want to tell them? Merrick finishes his ale, and he says, "Well, yeah, I found out a little something, if you want to hear it. Well,
Oh.
so," he rubs his hands together, "get this. So, you know the big S-man in the castle, right?
yes.
Get this. He's not all as powerful as he claims to be. See, I think I may have found a little chink that we might be able to exploit.
Alright.
There are several places of power scattered throughout this land of Ravenloft. If you can go and deactivate them, so to speak, almost like conduits, then he is weakened. Not exactly to a, shall we say, an easy level, but we might be able to disrupt him in a bit of way. It turns out me and a few others here, we found a tower in the middle of a lake. It was said to have belonged to the Strahd's main architect. So, what do you say we go investigate and try and maybe deliver a nice little blow to Big S-Man here?
Hmm.
Can I make
You
a...
said a tower in a lake, submerged or above the water?
Oh no, above. It's on an island basically, and there is actually a bridge out there to get there. But it was said to be
Good.
it's said that the last owner went mad or something. And I've seen a few of the vampire hunters out there kind of just chilling, and they shouldn't have a problem with us, so we should actually probably go investigate.
Question, question GM.
Go ahead.
Can I insight check him? Because this sounds way too good to be true.
Sure, insight him.
God damn, that sucks.
Well, he's telling the truth. I mean, like, I'll even have you take 10 on it. You can straight up tell
Okay.
he is not lying to you in any way. He might be like smoothing it and jazz talking it, but he's not in any way lying to you.
Alright. Say, I was originally planning on, trying to stabilize a few more areas, but if we can start hitting the big picture right away, I'm certainly not going to say no.
Well, to be fair, after apparently what you guys did to the druids there, they've backed off. I don't know what you guys did over there, but whew, they're pissed.
We kind of killed all of them over there.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, just giving you guys a warning here, but apparently there's a witch over in those woods that runs the druids, Baba Yaga.
Yeah,
Oh, she's pissed.
Wait, works? I thought last we heard she was neutral.
Well, yeah, but unfortunately, one of the druids you killed was one of her daughters.
Huh.
Should have raised her caterite.
Well, that is a downright shame. I was hoping to talk with her and get some kind of deal with her, but if she's, I mean, there could still be a chance for it, but it's just going to be much harder.
He shrugs. It's possible. I consider myself a smooth talker, but I wouldn't want to mess with that.
I'm
So,
of course going to try along.
many witches in the area, just to know.
Mostly just over by her area.
And what kind of witches, if I may ask?
He kind of thinks for a moment as he rolls his Arcana check. He thinks for a moment. Let me see what he gets here.
12. Ugly.
He has advantage. He's going to re-roll because that sucked. And so he kind of looks at you and he says, I'm not entirely sure what kind of witches they are. I mean, I don't exactly have a lot of experience with witches.
If our wizard friend is here, he would help, but...
He is currently passed out over on another table.
Oh, I thought he was with Etery doing something.
No, that's Chetrion, the warlock,
right.
with Etery.
Right, sorry.
Your wizard friend is over at the table just... And he ain't getting up for a while.
He worked hard. He deserves it.
Yeah.
Well, 1 second.
Yeah, within the past 2 days, he spent like 8 spell slots. He's kind of tired.
So
Oh,
there's lots left over. We ate all the taters. I'll make more taters. You want some?
sure.
Need more
Thanks.
taters if you want some.
Get them taters, boy.
Get them taters.
Taters.
Thanks.
Taters.
Stop!
Taters. Get them leftover taters,
They're
boy.
making fun. They're making fun how you're saying taters. My dad's a pipe fitter. He'll kick your ass.
I don't care. I'll get my ass
Put
kicked.
them taters up that pipe.
I don't care. I'll get my ass kicked while eating taters.
Shut the fuck up. I'm
Nothing.
fucking red. I'm fucking turning red. God damn it.
Nothing like getting your ass fucked while eating taters.
That's not Twitch friendly. That's just stupid. Someone clip that. It's the one viewer. Clip that.
Oh, it'll be clipped. All right. So,
Oh, Jesus.
yeah, he kind of looks and he says, "I don't have a lot of experience." Blah blah blah. What was the last thing you said?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Ah,
can't fucking remember.
but yes, he goes like, all right, we have to keep our eyes open.
I,
Witches can be tricky, speaking from experience.
By the way, Sir Merrick, Sir Grass, is it?
I'm from Eberron. You can just call me Grast.
I believe I've heard of that place a few times, but regardless, have any of you two managed to meet with a pleasant giant anaconda named Kronos?
They both kind of look at each other and shake their heads.
All right, just he lives near where the swamp where the werewolves are at, and our group had a pleasant run-in with the fella. But just to let you know, he is.
At least I didn't say poke chop.
God damn it, man!
Ah. Oh boy, getting off to a great start here.
Kronos is to be mostly trusted. I believe he does have his own agenda, but he makes fair dealings, and he has the same goal as us, as to getting out of this hellscape we are in.
There's nods from both Grast and Merrick, and they say, "Okay, well, I mean, all the better help. From what I hear, you guys have been kind of rallying a bunch of people to you when you eventually get ready to take on Big S here."
We wish to do our best to do that. The more, granted, I ain't looking to fill up his entire chamber full of plucky do-gooders, as you know, that'll just be clogging up everything. But the more distractions for a focused strike group to take out the head itself, the better.
Yeah, well, some of the guilds here, so we got your back, that's for sure. But what we really got to consider is there's a bit of little bit of a problem.
Oh, aren't there always?
Yeah, the
Ah,
Barovians, the traveling ones, the minstrels, the people who probably got you guys stuck here, from what I remember.
Yes, that is correct. We're hoping to maybe converse with them as well.
Well, they've taken up residence outside the town, so they've been spotted the other day.
Well,
Let's beat their ass.
now go.
Grass,
Just be-
the big dragonborn Grass looks on over at Goat and says, "Oh, can't hold your liquor, little girl? Typical."
For the
Gra-
hint of anger.
Grass, please don't anger her. She almost that werewolf leader you were talking to earlier, she almost beat him one-on-one. So I'd imagine if you want to keep your ass intact, you'd leave her be.
You see her ears just fold back. Like, I can hold myself in a fight and my liquor.
Really, that's so. Grass clears off the table, and he puts his elbow on the table with his arm up.
Oh no.
Trots up, slams elbow on table.
No, just the elbow table.
The table breaks. No, alright. So, here
Table
we
fall, everyone dies.
go.
No, I did sober up from the bucket.
Alright, so this will be a strength check.
In before rage.
Strength save
I'll
or
go
strength check?
strength save. Like your strength
Yep.
check basically. So I'm gonna roll my big dice out of in real life here.
All right.
It's advantage.
$21.
Yep, I know I'm rolling because he has advantage.
Oh no, I'm just talking about cat. 21.
21.
Okay, the first round, goat wins.
Is it like just a solid slam?
I mean he got a 17, so 21 to 17 is not that big of a separation, so it was a good wrestle. And he puts out his left arm this time, and he says, "Again."
Matches.
Roll again.
Even better.
Well, this time he got a natural 18 plus 11.
Barely.
So
Beat you by 3.
yeah. So with the left arm, boom. It's another really good fight, but he slams down your arm, goat.
All right, winner takes all. Both hands.
Yeah, actually, he'll stand up, and this will be a shoving match.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So, goat, roll me athletics.
Okay. It's not a strength check, sadly.
Yeah, there's a lot more than just raw strength here because there's balance and other things involved. So this would be athletics, but he does get advantage on it.
Depends. Okay, and depending on this roll, and if he's doing better, I'll rage halfway through if it looks like I'm gonna lose.
Okay.
Don't bother raging.
I mean, maybe you should, because that was only.
As goat's getting pushed, you'll I'm raging.
So here's what happens.
Let's see
You
what happened when I raged.
Oh yeah, let's see the
You-
magic.
So she's really trying, as she just cannot get footing, and see what happened with a 7. Okay, yeah, it's that movement thing. She causes the flowers to pop up all around.
All right, so this is kind of hilarious because neither one of you did really good. I mean, he beat you, but it was like you guys both like that was piss on both your parts. So
Just a shitty.
so
fight.
you both get ready, you both grasp each other's hands and you start to like shove, but neither one of you is used to like actually shoving the other person because goat he's way bigger than you and you're a four-legged thing, so he has trouble pushing a four-legged thing. And you're both just really awkward and lame and kind of pathetic uh in your shove attempts, but he does eventually shove you back out of the designated area.
Well,
Uh,
share gives a glance. Kind of. Well, I think you know where this is going. Let me roll to hit.
All right.
And we both know where this is going.
All
I
right.
imagine they both look down. It's just like, okay.
Okay, roll to hit. Hit.
Yep. And I'll push him 5 feet back. And I'll do, oh yeah, D8 plus. I'm raging, so, oh yeah. That's 14 non-lethal damage.
Clem is immediately gonna step out after like, whoa, 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 whoa.
The Dragonborn immediately reaches around you, activating his Eberron Dragon Mark tattoo. And let me see here, so that'll be 11 plus 1, so 12. 23 to hit.
Yep.
All right, so 10 non-lethal damage plus
Well, boys,
plus
this
3.
is what's happening.
Yeah, 10 non-lethal damage plus 3 force damage.
So, just 3 and so 6 damage total, or
Well, you're raging, so you take half of his physical, which is 5, and then you can't soak the force. So in total, that's 6, 7, 8 damage.
And then after that, Clem's gonna put out both hands like he's fucking Raptor team. He's like, whoa, okay. Let's calm down. Y'all had your chance of bravado. We don't need to escalate this any further, alright?
roll a persuasion, bro.
Hold on a sec. Are you?
So I got-
You're within 30 feet of Merrick, yes?
Probably. This probably isn't happening very far
roll
away
me-
from it.
Roll me that persuasion with advantage then.
Yeah, persuasion proficiency, brother.
Well, you get to roll it with advantage because what's something Merrick's doing.
God, wow, thanks. I needed that.
Yeah, 25.
I guess that's against
Will. Will.
Will. Just outright flat wisdom
Yeah,
will save.
just flat will.
Okay, so d20 plus 1. Yeah, I'm just gonna roll
Ooh.
d20. So that is an 11. Nope.
Oh, I think technically, well, for this context, yeah, it'd be more.
Yeah,
of a
in
roll.
this context, it's a kind of a flat will since she's raging and angry. So
Yeah.
Clem, yeah, you succeed. You definitely succeed with grass, that's for sure.
Yeah, goat rolled an 11. So yeah, they both just stare at each other. He's gonna win that anyways.
We are here to make friends and make this a better place. Not dick measuring contest over petty squabbles. Are we clear?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do that, go to the brothel. You know, there is a time and a place for everything.
But dude.
Ned Belcher, I don't think this town even has a. I mean, I haven't looked, but regardless.
There's one over on second.
Just goat sitting there, cross-armed. I hit harder though.
Good to know, I suppose.
To be fair,
And it-
to be fair, I'm a lot better with this sword than I am my fists. But nonetheless, you go up a couple notches in my book, little goat lady.
Anywho's
I'll be right back.
to continue off before that happened, Sir Led Belcher, is it the Savani people, the travelers?
Vistani.
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 Now, just because one group of Vistani people put us here in the first place, and granted, I don't know if that's the same group for everyone else. I don't think we should immediately think these people as enemies. Granted, I have heard from many people that they are working for the big man. But just because an organization is doesn't mean the people are. Now, of course, if we show up there, they clearly show their devotion, then we shall kindly but firmly ask them to move aside as we do our business, and if they let us go with peace, I say we should leave them be, unless they mean to do others harm.
Well,
But-
fact is that they are local to here, we are not. They probably know this area as good as the back of their hand. We do not.
Of
To
course.
go and trying making them into enemies at this point would just be foolhardy.
Exactly. We shouldn't really. Pardon me. What we need less of in this place is enemies. It's bad enough as is. So if they are out there, and they mean us no harm, and they mean the people in here no harm, let us not pick fights that aren't worth it. All right?
Sure thing. I just had a strong feeling when it came to the mayor that, well, he was culpable, so...
Oh no!
I mean, the
Yeah.
fact that he that he turned into what he turned into was unexpected, slightly shocking, and take it from a fellow as old as I am. I've been around. I've seen stuff,
Oh
but
no,
never something quite as bizarre as that.
yeah, the man was a deplorable shitbag who deserved what he got and then some. If I could have staked him to the ground, I would have. But that's neither here nor there.
But I have no particular conflict with them. I just saw them in the distance. Next thing I know, I was in. Well, the mist.
Yeah.
But so far I can see, you folks actually have a plan to try and attempt what others would consider the impossible. And frankly, I would like to get to Sunny Hills at some point because, yeah, I'm going long in the tooth, and I'd actually like to enjoy my retirement. But if it means I'd have to box my way through a little hellhole, so be it.
Oh, of course. The gods didn't put us here to do easy tasks.
Oh well, where is the fun in that if you can't overcome a challenge?
Exactly. But inspirational messages aside, let's go ahead and visit that tower, see if we can visit more places like it, and if they actually do bear fruit and actually hurt the big man, then we'll invest as many resources as we can into screwing the man over. In the meanwhile, secondary objectives will be finding others like us, people who are lost in this hellscape, and of course helping out the people in the meanwhile. By the people, I mean the locals and the people unfortunate enough to live their eternal lives here.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm fine with that. But before we do any of that, if you don't mind, I'll give me an hour. There's a little something I have to take care of. And he gives you a naughty wink.
Merrick's just chuckling.
Nothing like almost dying to remind you how much you want to live. See you in
Just,
an hour, folks. And he
just be,
starts walking.
just watch out for knives. Just the old man.
Don't worry, I've been in rougher places than this. You can hear him just chuckle as he starts walking in the distance and to the nearest brothel.
2 hours later. So, Leadbelcher's in trouble. Where do you go? No.
I have 17 knives in my liver. Please help me.
Alright, so there's not exactly a brothel in Barovia at the moment just because of how depressing everything is. However, it's more of a how would I describe it? Because this is actually really important.
A place where people are less depressed.
It's just kind of a I'll put it this way, it's the most depressing brothel you've ever visited. It's not so much the fact that everyone there is, like diseased or something. It's just that, it's Barovia. It's a very gothic horror setting place, so everything is like, kind of, depressing.
Ah, this is a sorry brothel if I ever saw one. Alright, drinks on me, the whole round. Let's try and see if we can't make this evening a little better.
Alright, so you're doing that, so roll me 2 constitution checks, please.
Okay.
1d20 plus 3.
One for showing, one for.
Alright, so you don't do too bad. You're not fatigued, but you come out of there feeling a little bit worse for wear, but nothing serious.
Thank you.
Does he at the very least feel reasonably pleased?
Yes. I mean,
Okay.
whatever
Fair enough.
pleasure you wish to feel at that point,
It's fine. It's fine.
It's at this point that when Tharak comes back, Taviel is just coming to consciousness. Clem.
I'm sorry, what?
Taviel is just coming to consciousness.
Oh, well, Tavio, you awake? Are you
What?
all right?
Yes. What is? Mm. Oh,
Good
yeah.
morning, Sonny Jim. How are you doing?
I was having a strange nightmare. But
In this place, I'm not surprised.
what time of day is it? Why
It's
is it so late?
actually later in the evening, but it's foggy outside and it's raining, and it's actually really warm, Taviel, almost like a tropical kind of weather
I'm
vibe going.
comfortably humid.
Oh, it reminds me of home.
You also notice, Taviel, that there is the drow that you guys saw earlier, and a very large red dragonborn sitting at the table across from Clem that appear to be having conversation with the group.
We were just discussing plans and stuff. Apparently, our friends here discovered a place where we could hurt the big man himself in small ways, and if we do so enough, it'd be much easier to take him out in the end.
How so?
There's a tower in a lake of some sort that apparently is a, what'd you say, Merrick? Is a conduit of his power?
So to speak, almost like a seal, if you will, and if it gets broken or destroyed, supposedly if the seal can be found or destroyed, it weakens the big S man, gives him less control, almost like a a lich's phylactery, so to speak.
I knew one man, no matter how powerful they think they are, could hold a whole realm under his thumb.
Not
There
by
had to be
himself,
something like
anyway. Yeah, certainly.
there had to be something scattered like that about there somewhere. So good to know my little headcanon was correct.
Head cannon? And my guy starts looking at your head, seeming rather disappointed.
Mr. Regardless. Long story short, Taviel, we are hoping to hit that place next, but a bit of interesting news, can't really say good or bad. There are some Vistana folk outside of town. Now, we aren't looking to make enemies of them, obviously, but if they mean to do us harm, then their wagon shall burn. But until then,
Oh, what a pray tell of this day.
they're the people that got us all here in the first place. The traveling musicians and such that the organization overall works for the man himself, though I am under the impression probably not everyone vibes with that idea.
I don't remember traveling musicians on my way here, but I will keep what you've said in mind.
Also, a bit of other spot of bad news. That Baba Yaga character, who we thought was neutral and hoped to speak to eventually, turns out in our original conflict with some of the corrupted druids, one of them was one of her daughters, and now he promptly dislikes us immensely.
Oh, well, how unfortunate.
I hope to still talk with her, hope she can be reasoned with, but given everything, I'm not as optimistic as I want to be at the moment.
Understood. So, I suppose our next course of action is looking to find this conduit of power.
Yes, there is one in a tower on an island in the midst of the lake, and I believe we already planned on heading over that way anyway before the festival came about. It's just, we got sidetracked by that. So, it works out in the end. Plus, of course, you already met Merrick, this quite strong strong, muscly fellow. His name is Gast.
Nods. Howdy.
Oh,
Don't mind the
pleasure.
don't mind the tattoo on the side of the neck. Originally was born in Eberron.
He is
I
a part
hadn't
of.
noticed until now.
Indeed, the tattoo almost seemed invisible until he pointed it out.
He is a part of the DNA Adventuring Guild as well, or in the Sword Coast. So apparently there are a lot more of us here than we thought, which good and bad, ups and downs.
I'll just say in Draconic, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
He'll say back in Draconic, not. He kind of raises his eyebrow. He says back in Draconic. Good. And he gives a nod and he says, "Pleasure to meet your acquaintance as well."
I'm just confused in Celestial and Giant.
Merrick,
Swears and Sylvan.
the Drow, also looks on over at you, uh, Taviel, and says in Draconic, "Ah, I didn't know you speak this language." Sure.
I speak many.
He says in Celestial, and
Nope.
he says this one.
I'll say an infernal. Not quite.
He he, he, he says back in Infernal. Ah, well, I see.
This just wait. So the Drow speaks in fucking holy tones,
He
and then the
speaks-
wizard speaks back to
Okay.
in
Yeah.
BFG.
Well, the thing is, he also has a ring of comprehend languages, but his default languages are Elvish, Common, Celestial, Draconic, Infernal.
No one speaks Goblin, the best language.
Oh, there are a few.
I only got Common, Draconic, Elvish, Infernal, and Sylvan.
Only.
Hey,
I know.
Hey,
I should have more.
Sylvan's a good one.
Uh,
All right.
Cat, are you? If you're talking, we can't hear you.
I'm not talking. That's
Oh,
just my
okay.
microphone going lighty uppy.
All right.
I just wanted to be sure.
Go ahead and chit chat amongst yourselves for just a sec. I'm gonna grab some water.
So, like I said, hoping not to make an immediate enemy out of Vistani, but of course, if they mean to do us harm or the people of this town harm, they will seek the consequences of their actions. But till then, hope to not anger any more parties than we apparently already have.
I don't fancy having a second curse placed on myself by witches.
You got it. What?
Ah, old story. Happened 400 years ago to me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I imagine someone at the guild. Heck, I bet even Taviel could probably lift it if you want.
Well, seems they froze me in time. That's why I've already lived almost 2 dwarven lives.
Huh. Interesting.
What? From someone frozen in time, you seem to be quite limber.
Ah, well, I haven't aged a day above 400. On the downside, I've already had to lay some of me kids to the grave from old age. That wasn't fun. And you
That-
start that subject of all things, that is downing him right now. So he's
What?
walking over to grab himself another pint.
It
Well, that's
might
what
help
happens when you
me,
bring it up.
Tharok, to solve such an issue if I were to know which Thrime world you were from, or if you were from perhaps the plains. And he just starts leaning in, all interested, like starts asking all kinds of questions about.
Hold up.
Plains? No, I'm no plains walker, if that's your question.
Ah, he said it. He said the word. Wizards, give us money.
Leadbelcher, I believe you are from Actually, I think you're from. Aren't you where from Clem is?
I think so, yes.
Yeah,
He's a
yeah.
hill dwarf.
And so Clem, you were from. Clem, where were you from?
Oh, a small town of Time Toss that
Well, I know, but like, what was the main area near you?
What world are you from?
I'd imagine the one that the Sword Coast is in, cause I
Okay,
didn't.
so Farron.
Yeah, so he's
Yeah.
yeah. Basically,
Faerun.
they are.
Why?
He is
Yeah.
from the realm, if you will, of Faerun.
He's from Toril.
Yep.
Which is the planet. Yeah.
I'm gonna be real with you all. I don't know fuck all about D&D Cosmos. I'm just a furball of Southern. Just a
Oh,
Southern.
It's okay, but Tharok just said, yeah, he's from this
Yeah.
great hill
In-
ridge in this
yeah,
area,
in-
blah
in-
blah blah.
In all standardness, Taviel, they are from the standard Faerun plane, or basically the standard mortal plane.
Okay. Ah, yes. Well, that will help with the calculations.
If you lift the curse, would it just kill him?
That's what I was worried about.
Possibly, but
Merritt kind of pipes up. Depends on what kind of curse. See, some curses, from what I understand, they will do that. Yeah, you'll just keep technically aging, but it won't let you age, so to speak. And then if it deactivates, you die. But then apparently there's other curses where, well, it'll just stop you and just freezes you in place, so to speak.
as then there's well, certain things that Trixie Faye might do, which to halt her aging process, they just turn you to stone. Like Clem said, our friend here looks quite limber.
So, although old, he doesn't seem to be yet in that age range where you become old and decrepit yet.
Yeah, you're not.
Weakened, not as strong as the equivalent of a 30-year-old human, but
You're not venerable.
yeah, exactly.
You're still in
That's
gray
why the
fox
black
age.
and white. Yeah, that's why the black and white hair.
Mm.
Silver fox sort of thing.
Yeah, silver fox. That's the thing. Well, oh, excuse me.
Well then, upon our return to Faerun, I will begin researching a bit of a solution to your problem.
Yeah.
That's actually.
Although,
Hold on a sec. Taviel, after reading your backstory, give yourself an inspiration point.
What?
Um,
Fucking you got a +1, bro.
woo.
Well,
One
he-
reroll.
Well,
Aw,
yeah. He can basically use it to re-roll, and you can use it to make a hit a critical.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
Well,
And actually, since you guys all did that last battle, go ahead and give yourselves an inspiration point. So, like I said, one reroll or turning one hit into critical. But Taviel, give yourself 2 because you just did a story and character plot push. So, Taviel, you have 2 inspiration points.
one for
Okay.
showing, one for blowing.
Yes, one for story. We have one for story, one for glory. Yes, exactly.
Haha. Well, let's get on out of here. Though before we leave, I'd like to stop by the Church of the Sun and Moon. I think since the mayor is gone, thankfully, I believe the priest there is probably the closest thing we have to an authority figure in this town. And if he doesn't know, we should let him know, and the people of this town would know what to do from there. I don't want to leave here and come back to see it in even worse disarray.
Understood. You want us to just stand by at the edge of the path while you guys take care of that? We'll wait for you.
I mean, you're more than welcome to come, but if you wish to, be there ahead of schedule, you're more than free.
Hey, us guildies got to stick together, man.
But it's
And
really-
what guild may that be, if I may ask?
We are of the D&A Adventure Guild in Waterdeep.
Does my guy know about them?
Vaguely, yes. You don't know a whole lot about Waterdeep. Tavio would actually probably know more about them than your character at the moment.
I was actually going to ask if I heard.
Yeah,
If I've heard of them. As well.
yeah. The reason why is because the Adventurers Guild has teleporters in quite a few major cities all around the land, and the major, the guild that you studied at, Taviel, actually has a teleporter to Waterdeep that occasionally that both guilds will actually use. So that's how you know about them, because occasionally you've seen a member or two come by and kind of use the arcane studies where you're from to kind of, either grab something from the library that your guild has, or to use something in the city.
I've heard of your adventuring company. We actually have some of your people in Aglarond.
Oh, and that is good. How is the guild over in Aglarond?
Well, I don't necessarily fraternize outside of my own company myself, but they seem to be doing quite well,
Well,
quite profitable.
That's good, considering as how Waterdeep, well, recently in the past month here, was under a demonic assault. That was brutal.
Oh, how dreadful.
Cough, cough, referencing another module, cough, cough.
Actually, I'm referencing Legend of Drizzt new books, cough, cough.
Oh, I thought you were referencing the Baldur's Gate thing.
No. Baldur's Gate happened actually previously. Actually, Baldur's Gate happened in this particular timeline years ago. So this was basically Baldur's Gate 2 that happened.
Oh shit, damn.
Yeah, no, I'm dead serious. Waterdeep has been attacked twice now. Poor city.
Needs to shit together.
Yeah, and there's actually a new arcane host tower in Waterdeep that is actually run by a storm giant, a drow, and a few others.
Well, anywho.
Allow me to introduce myself. He says to them, Taviel Thalant, apprentice to the, once apprentice to the Silver Hall, if we ever make it back.
Grasped Crimson Scale. This here's Merrick. Merrick nods, and he's like, Merrick Longstrider, fellow inquisitive bard and resident sellsword and Adventurers League member, at your service.
Good, at least we have a merriman here.
he pulls out. It's weird. He snaps his fingers, and you can tell that his gloves are magical. He snaps his fingers, and this little flute pops out, and he just plays a little tune, and then he kind of does this action of almost like he's gonna stab himself with his flute, and the flute just kind of disappears.
Neat.
Fine tricks you got there. Guess I should introduce myself proper. Farrock Leadbelcher, Master Artificer and ex-artillery master. Been in a few wars myself, and you can either call me Master or Mister, because I actually work for my living. I'm no knight.
He nods.
He chuckles at that.
He kind of looks around at all of you, and he says, well, we'll be waiting for you over on the path after you go do your business at the church. Gives a little clap, and he says, oh, Tarek and Ariana, if they ever get out of here with us, along with that tribe leader, they all wanted to join, so we'll definitely, if we ever do get out of here, we'll keep an eye on their skills and see if they're worthy of the guild. But nonetheless, he gives you a nod, and they both head out and wait for you near the northern part of the path. So, you guys are left in the inn.
Same. Granted, I'm not much of an aficionado of the guild, but if they were under me, they definitely are Shurians, especially after that previous fight we've had. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get going.
Fuck that guy.
I
Goat, I
The
understand.
Adventures Guild of Waterdeep is well renowned.
But you shouldn't have started that fight after losing.
He started that fight.
You swing the first punch, Missy.
Hey,
and
Goat.
I don't want to.
He had attitude.
Hey, Goat.
Both,
Yeah.
both.
What was
have
your AC?
attitude.
Your AC is 18, right?
Yeah.
Okay, he hits you with a 20. A mage hand appears in front of you, Goat, and flicks you with its finger on the nose.
Where the
disappears.
fuck is he? Do I see him?
Nope, you don't see him anywhere.
What did I miss?
While you were passed out, the Dragonborn fella and Goat had a dick measuring contest about strength.
Goat stomps out the door, looks around.
There's no one.
Goat. While outside, Clem's gonna cast light on his shield and gonna hold it up as like a shitty umbrella.
Hmm. It's pouring rain, but you know, it's warm, so, you know, whatever you guys feel about it. You head on down over to the church, I assume.
Yep.
You can see Izark and Ariana kind of sitting out in front. They're under a little banister, and they both appear to be kind of huddled and talking. And you also see the priest earlier who helped you with that heal, and he's standing out there with his arms crossed, kind of pacing back and forth. And he seems to be grasping the little symbol that he had before, the symbol of the sun and the moon. And he appears to be muttering maybe a prayer to himself. You're not sure.
Hope we aren't interrupting anything, gentlemen and Ariana.
Izark and Ariana look a little bit embarrassed, and they kind of scooch away from each other just a little bit. They were getting a little bit cozy. And the priest kind of looks up and says, yes, Clem of House of Skin, welcome, and yes, welcome, all of you. Forgive me, I was a bit distracted there. No, you're not interrupting anything. What can the sun and the moon bless you today? And he bows to you.
Oh, there are no bows necessary, but I do thank you for the courtesy. Regardless, in case Izark and Irenia haven't told you, the keep it short, there's a new position in the upper echelon of the town.
Indeed, we were discussing that earlier. And he kind of looks down. He looks down at the ground and gives a little sigh, and he says, I don't exactly know if he is ever going to be replaced. If anything, it's probably better that this town is the way it is at this moment.
Well, and in case you need the evidence for it, Clem is going to go ahead and gives the priest most everything of like incriminating evidence-wise. If anyone tries to be a defender of this man, you have the right knowledge.
He nods, and he reads it, shakes his head, puts it in one of his pockets or one of his pouches. He nods and he says, thank you for this. This will help.
And hopefully the problems with the werewolves have died down, if not ceased altogether.
We just received a messenger. He looks over at Theric Leadbelcher.
Ah,
Like, because you were gonna say something, and then he started, but then he stopped when you started talking.
no. Let me guess. Just let me guess this one. You got a messenger from the Shaggy Pelts that informed you they want to cease hostilities, right?
He blinks and looks a little surprised. Yeah.
Oh, I only overheard one of the messengers, that's all. Don't worry.
For a moment, I thought that pause sounded like you were the messenger, and that would have shocked me quite a bit. Of course, it also be kind of impossible, but fun to thought.
He's just that good, Clem. No.
He's just his fucking little turret
Oh,
just makes a long trek.
800 fucking years of experience, Clem.
He's just too bored.
But anyways, sorry, priest. I didn't want to hinder you further. Please continue.
Oh yeah, the hostilities between the the tribes have started to end, and the Were Ravens now have their shipments. So we have at least some manner, at least a small manner of people to work with, and without having to deal with the other dangers of this land.
Also, we've received many items from the man's establishment, and Isaac, Irene, if you could come over here as well, I believe this object might be important to you too. I'm not entirely sure.
They both come on up to you.
Clem is going to show off the icon of Ravenloft. And it's like, this was, I think, one of the more notable items we got from.
The priest immediately starts to pray as you pull out the idol.
Okay, that's apparently one of the big ones.
If the items you were found, then they are far better in your hands than his, the priest says. No wonder there was no wonder there was a darkness over this city, if he possessed that.
Well, good to know it's in some better hands at the very least, and I was just wanted to be sure that this was an actual icon of sorts. And granted, Tavia does wonders on looking at the magic, but anyone can enchant its fancy statue to be something. But
Are you suggesting that there is a correlation between the icon itself and the town's weather systems, or was that a turn of phrase?
Well, to put it lightly, actually, yes, there may actually be something like that.
He begins thinking.
Would the church need this item then for better safekeeping, or?
Something interesting happens. He reaches for it as if though he wants to take it, but then he thinks better. And he pulls back his hand and he says, no. It is better in your care. Your goal is to defeat Strahd. If it is in your hands, then it is in its rightful place.
I at least.
Yeah, Clem, what's your passive perception?
My passive perception is mediocre. It is a 14.
Okay, so didn't seem
Reaching
to
for
notice
the
anything. In all honesty, does anyone have a passive perception of 16 or higher?
Almost. I had 15.
I got 15.
Lead Belcher? Larok?
I don't think he has it.
Oh god, he's dead. He's dead, Jim.
If you don't have it, I believe none of us have, because that's a wisdom thing.
Why am I not seeing my character in the character list? This makes no sense.
Well, anyway, Tavio, would you roll me a perception, please?
Yes, yeah, perception is not a trained skill for me, so or not a proficient skill for me, I should say. Which is based off the pure number.
So I'll be nice and I'll take the 18. Normally just roll 1. But Tavio. Yeah, you pretty much guessed it. Like straight out of that scene from Lord of the Rings, it looked like he really wanted that idol. Badly. But thought better of it.
Well, just wanted to be sure that you all knew the item and I wasn't going to try and hide it from y'all. But if you think it's better in my hands fighting a good fight, then your word over this means more than any of my words, and Clem will put it back where he stored it.
He nods, and he nods to Izark and Iriana, and he says, I must go back to the patrons, excuse me. And he goes back inside the church.
Out of character, sorry, I finally found the sheet. Quick out of character question. Which stat are you looking for,
I was
and
looking
what
for
passive
I
bonus?
was looking for passive perception.
Ah, passive perception. I have. Oh no. Passive intelligence, passive wisdom, passive perception 13.
Okay.
Sorry, dudes.
No worries.
You're good.
All right. So you are sitting there in the rain, and Izark and
Uh,
Iriana are just kind of looking at you guys like. Iriana
Yeah.
kind of pipes up a little bit
Yeah.
and she says, well, I take it you're out to do something then.
Yes, we were just about to inform you. Good old Malik, that Dralbard, has informed us there are weak points that we can exploit to decrease the big man's hold on this whole realm, and we are looking to attack one of those as we speak.
I see. Yeah, we talked with a few of your guildmates earlier. They're going to give us a little bit of a hand, and we're to wait here for them to regroup. And if you're going to the tower, I do recommend being careful. It was rumored that the tower belonged to one of Strahd's architects, and he went mad. Supposedly, the rumors say he became a lich.
That's good to hear, as if a potential mean Baba Yaga wasn't bad enough. Oh boy.
She kind of shrugs, and Tarek and Izark says, "Well, welcome to Ravenloft."
Well, I mean, after the Portland mayor turned into a meatball with eyes, I thought that'd be the end of it. But, never ceases to amaze. Regardless, we just wanted to update you on everything going on, but we'll be making our way out here shortly. And in case you didn't know, apparently the Vistani has set up a temporary shop outside the walls, and we aren't looking to make enemies of them unless they mean us harm. At least, oh,
She kind of looks at you and she says, "The Vistani have always worked for Strahd. They will always be enemies of the good people here."
all right. Well, that means a lot different coming from you, so
She
I
kind of
won't go out of
nods.
my way to torch them. But if they impede us, then they shall feel the wrath of God.
She smiles, gives a little quirk.
But you two, please go back to taking some rest. You two well deserve it. And again, thank you for helping us in that little basement kerfuffle.
She nods. Anytime. And they go
All
back to
right.
sitting out in front of the little archway.
Well, all right, folks, let's go bust the tower. And Clem's gonna make his way to the exit with the other two, where the other two
Farrell
are.
just laughs his head off and follows.
I mean, Bear Leadbelcher,
Joke.
between your artifice and expertise and my forge knowledge, we can probably tear that tower asunder if we really wanted to.
We could probably raise its integrity so bad that it would probably just collapse on itself. He chuckles. A shame I don't have any detonation charges. If not, I could actually do that.
The old dwarf and the young furball bonding over explosives. Who'da thunk?
So you head on out to the northern path, and you can see Merrick and Grast waiting for you as you all approach. And they say, "All right, you all ready?"
Yep. Have the Vistani made any certain moves, or are they just out there?
They both shake their heads.
Well, let's go ahead and get on going. See if we can't walk past without angering an entire group.
They nod, and you both head on out. There appears to be nothing the first day. This will be about a day's travel. to get out to the lake.
Are they just like right outside the city?
Well, no, they're not like plopped in the road. They're actually out kind of a ways, so you don't even really see them. But there's no one out there really bugging you, so you assume they didn't, you know,
Oh.
come at
They
you.
don't care. No, it's like in Skyrim, just right outside the doors. Khajiit have way if you have coin.
You guys like see a wandering guard from the city go, and he says, "My brother's out fighting dragons, and what do I get? God duty." And he keeps walking past you back to the city.
There are dragons. Oh boy, as if there weren't enough to worry about.
All right, so you continue on down the path, and let me go ahead and get the map out.
Wheel of consequences. Da 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 da.
How will this
I
random
did is the
meme?
consequences of my own actions.
How will this random meme NPC fuck us in this later session? Find out next time on Oh god,
Not
our NPCs
sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
We're sponsored only by the porn of Raid Shadow Legends, which there's barely any of.
Yep.
Actually, we're sponsored by, guess what? You're not a dish. You're a man.
You're a
No,
man.
I'm just kidding.
Wait, what?
So get ready to get sponsored by Dr. Sasquatch Soap. No.
Oh, that. I forgot.
All right,
Yeah, I
so,
see that on Facebook all the time.
as you guys start to approach, let me read what you see. You
Sure.
eventually get out there and you see a massive black obsidian tower standing in front of this little island in the middle of a kind of very dark water lake. Lots of very thick trees and shrubs kind of circle around you. You come to a cold mountain lake enclosed by misty woods and rocky bluffs. The fog creeps across the dark, still waters. The trail ends at the grass-covered causeway that stretches 100 yards across the lake to the flat, marshy island with a stone, black obsidian tower. The tower is old and decrepit, with collapsing scaffoldings and crumbling brick. However, the main structure of the tower seems to be still fairly flawless. A large gash has split the wall on the right side. Time-worn griffin statues and their wings flakes covered with moss perch atop the buttress and support the walls, covered all around. Parked near the base of the tower, within line of sight to the entrance, is a barrel-topped wagon splattered with mud and appears to be stuck in the mud. The tower stands maybe, at first you think about 80 feet tall, but then you're thinking, no, it's more like 120 feet tall.
Sir Leadbelcher, not to assume you would know more about rocks than I do, considering your lineage, but obsidian's a tough stone, is it not?
How should I say? It's one of the most sharp, but also one of the most brittle rocks that you can find. Excellent to make blades in a pinch, but really horrible at keeping its structure strong if
Then how-
knocked on the side.
That's either magical obsidian or someone just really was obsessed with it, I guess.
That is most definitely magical.
Very magic. It was built by a
could-
mage.
What would Leadbelcher have to roll if
Well-
he would like to try and check if this is bog standard obsidian or
Perception.
something else?
I
Perception.
can
Actually,
guarantee.
actually, I'll have everyone roll this. Everyone can roll me a perception or a knowledge arcana. The DC for perception will be 18. The DC for knowledge arcana will be 14.
Give the dwarf a bonus because of stoneworking. Stoneworking's never useful.
I'll
I rolled
say,
on-
I will say the dwarf can roll perception or arcana at advantage.
I rolled on D&D
Yeah,
Beyond is alright.
I
Yeah.
actually saw that roll on D&D Beyond. How the hell did I see that?
Oh, well, I got a 23.
Yeah, that was wild. Perception. 13. Nope.
So
I don't know what the fuck.
Jason, go ahead
rocks.
and roll that again. And we'll take
On
the
it.
high, we'll take the higher of which two.
Excuse
I'm
me.
on it. I'm on it.
You're good, man. No rush. It's- The dwarf's gonna look at the tower up and down. It's like, yeah, this shit's fucked. This should have fallen like 20 years ago.
Yep, magic.
Yep, magic.
Oh, natural 20.
Holy fuck.
All right, so Clem, you don't get anything, but
Everyone else.
But Taviel and Goat get something different to what Tharak gets. So Taviel and Goat, you both realize that yes, this tower actually is magical. It's actually radiating a little bit of magic, although it's kind of hard to see for those of you who have arcane sight. It's actually almost a muddled blur, Taviel. Um, Tharak, you understand that the way this thing is structurally built, yeah, this thing should have fallen about 100 years ago, but has not. It has stayed up.
So Tharok examines it like a jeweler examines a particularly nice
Out of-
cut diamond.
Out of curiosity, when you go up to the obsidian tower, do you touch it?
Oh, I thought we were still far away from it. I thought we were all just looking at from this.
Well, I assume-
Negative.
Okay.
Negative. Tharok, just because he doesn't know what material it might be or if there's an illusion on it or so on, as said, long ass lived dwarf, he has seen some stuff. Anyway, he goes around, he looks at it, he ponders, he thinks, and then he goes and says with an assertive voice like a teacher in a school, "This tower definitely should have fallen down at least 100 years ago. This is far too unstable." He points at certain things. This would have called force lines about 20 there. Ice and snow and coal would have blah, and then just goes like, yes, there must be magic at work here. This breaks all the classical laws of gravity as we know them.
Go
Yeah.
will quietly nudge Traviel and it's like, call a doctor if your tower stays up for more than a decade.
And while we're on the way of walking up, since that wagon was there, Clem's gonna take a peek in the wagon and see if like anything's in it.
Oh dear. Okay, so you go up to the wagon. It's a very, it's kind of a nice one of those classic traveling wagons. Under layers of mud, this wagon sports a fresh coat of purple paint, and its wheels have a fancy gold trim. A brass lantern hangs from each corner, and red drapes cover the tombstone-shaped window on each side. A steel padlock secures the back door, hanging from which is a cheap wooden sign that reads, "Keep Out."
Hello? Clem's gonna knock on the door. Anyone in there?
There is no response.
Do you need help out or something?
There is no response.
Can I send my owl to look through the window?
Yes, you may. By the way, do you have the owl stats? I have one here, if not.
It's
It's
just
a-
regular owl stats.
Yeah,
From
that's what I figured.
okay.
I've got a regular barn
Yes.
owl.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
saying,
regular owl stats.
So you send you send your owl to look through the window, and I'm gonna have your owl roll a dexterity saving throw here. Actually, your owl's okay, but I think this might actually still kill your owl because it is an owl.
Well, it is a familiar and can just
He
be
has
something.
he literally has like 4 hit points.
Yeah, that's 8 hit points. So as your owl looks through the window, you hear a kind of shh sound, and your owl, poof, like you know that thing when like a bird gets hit by a car or hit by something really thing, and there's just nothing but feathers left over. That's
Mm-hmm.
something. It probably was a lightning spell. You think just went poof, and your owl is gone.
Yeah. All right. Apparently they don't want to be looked at.
Hope you weren't attached to the owl.
Well, if I have time, I start the next 10 minutes to resummon.
Yeah,
the familiar.
you spend 10 minutes doing the ritual thing, and he's back.
By the time he's doing that, I'll be talking with the others, including NPCs. Like, should we mess with this wagon anymore at all? See what's in it or anything?
Merrick comes up and takes a look at it up and down, just kind of looks around. And he says, "Whoa, this thing is booby trapped to hell."
Well, I mean,
And I mean hell is in the 9 planes.
but why?
He shrugs. I don't know. Whoever
Who
whoever owns this certainly didn't want anyone looking into it.
who leaves a cart in the middle of nowhere next to an obsidian tower stuck in the mud full of traps?
Well, from rumors, from what I heard that there was supposedly a couple vampire slayers out here using this as kind of a base of operations, but he looks around. I don't see any of them about.
Yeah, anyone who's dumb enough to call themselves a vampire slayer in these lands are probably deader than a doornail.
Well,
Either
that wagon
that,
does
or
look
they're
cool.
currently outside. Who knows? Maybe they're doing their round of hunting. Which sort of begs the question, would we like to remain here and wait for them to come back? At least give them a little time? Or do we want to use the fact that they're not around? I mean, after all, if they were all dead and one of them was the creator of
If Etery
all
was here, I'd
these,
ask him to see if there are any tracks.
but of all these enchantments upon the wagon, if I remember correctly, if he or she were dead, the effect would dissipate, wouldn't it?
Unless it's a glyph of warden. Glyphs of warden tend to stick around for quite a while.
Good point. Good point.
Is it a glyph?
Not sure. But
No, I was asking the DM. Can
Tavio,
I tell?
yes and yes. There is a glyph indeed on the tower, and you've identified that there is also an anti-magic field going around the tower, and there appear to be some other arcane blessings put on it, although you don't know what those ones are.
Tavio, you said. Wait, what? What?
He hasn't said anything yet.
Sorry.
Shut your face.
Shut your face, bitch.
What about the wagon? Is that what that's what you were talking about first, right? The wagon.
Yeah, the wagon.
The wagon just
Shocking
has
bird.
the wagon just has a bunch of booby traps. It's the tower that has the anti-magic stuff.
Oh, okay.
Well, let's see. The wagon appears to be mostly non-magical in nature. The tower, though, is my concern. Seems to be a large anti-magic field radiating from it, as well as several spells beyond that.
How is it? How is there an anti-magic field, but also magic on the tower? That don't make a lick of sense.
Yes, well, it's quite perplexing, but obviously complex magic.
That's like trying to mix.
Yeah.
That's like trying to mix together water and oil. That shit ain't gonna work.
Well, I don't know if some sort of layering could be done in effect. That the tower, maybe in the stones themselves, they are still magical, and then maybe like a small finger's width distance. Actually, there might be another layer going over, and then I guess maybe the anti-magic zone. To be fair, I'm an artificer, not a sorcerer, so I might be approaching this wrong.
Well, that and if there is an anti-magic field that somehow don't affect the tower, wouldn't that mean this alleged lich would be powerless? Like, sure, we couldn't use any of our stuff.
Well,
He's just a bag of bones and a robe, or whatever the lich is.
Tavio, what Therox said might actually be what's going on here. If you had to guess, Tavio, you'd say that, yeah, there's no way this could physically happen, but now that you think about it, there may indeed be something to this. For example, inside the tower, there may also be no anti-magic going. But you could guess that maybe the stones themselves were enchanted, and then another layer or barrier was put around, and that's the barrier of anti-magic. This could work in theory. Although you've never seen it actually put into practice.
I think you may be right, Leadbelcher.
Are you reading the in-game
So-
chat bot?
It's
Oh yeah.
it's
Sorry.
quite ingenious.
Random. As the rest of the party is just talking about how the fuck does this work, Goat's just gonna that is boring poke.
Yep. She's got a thing with
Uh,
a stick and just poked.
make me a
Which is fair.
dexterity saving throw.
Hey,
Do I
the
see this
stick.
coming, or is it just?
I mean, you're poking a very suspicious tower.
I wouldn't do that if I were you, and it's already too late.
Oh, very too late. Just turn around. Yep. Oh, do I get advantage on this deck save?
No.
I don't even see it coming.
Hey.
Nope.
Shouldn't the stick make the deck save? Because it's the one. I'm kidding. Actually,
So dexterity saving throw, please.
that's
Okay.
a D8.
Okay.
Fuck, wait, that was the D8.
Yeah. Jeez. Okay.
Okay, much
Oh,
better.
Okay.
Jesus.
So goat. The tower immediately springs to life with lightning surrounding it, and you take 11 points of lightning damage. I halved it.
Ah,
You just see this goat standing there for a second, just charred, just turns around. Don't touch the tower, guys.
what?
Merrick,
I could
God.
have told
Merrick-
you
Merrick
that
just kinda-
earlier.
Merrick just kind of jumps back and puts his hands on his head. He's like, "Well, no shit."
Don't worry, she does things like this a lot.
Yeah. Little warning next time. I mean, hell, what if she had touched it and just everything had blown up?
I mean, that
That would
solves
have
the
been
tower problem.
unfortunate.
That is probably unlikely if the rumors are to be believed and the architect is a lich. I
Okay.
think it would still be highly painful and counterproductive for him to blow himself up in the process.
And hey, if we did all get killed, at least I wouldn't have to worry about getting yelled at after.
I mean,
That's your greatest concern? That's your greatest concern right now. Good to know.
I mean,
let's simmer down. Let's simmer down.
Grass, the
Grinding.
Dragonborn, is just laughing his ass off at this point.
goat's
Look,
still
Tharok
smoking.
just shimmies over to the Dragonborn and adds his laughter to it.
Look, in Goat's defense, talking about tower specifics is a little dry, even for my taste. But regardless, that is important information. Taviel, Merrick, do you know how strong these magics are, and if a combined amount of if a powerful amount of counter magic could nullify any of this?
Don't think this could easily be dispelled with counter magic, but
I mean,
let
you
me
could.
take a look.
I mean, you could if you had a level 8 spell.
I mean, I have dispelled magic as a thing.
Yeah. Basically, Taviel, since you're very experienced, you won't even have to roll for this. You would need a level 8 dispel or counterspell to dispel this.
So like 7 levels from now, got it.
One would need to be a master of the arcane to expel something as powerful as this.
Mm,
Yeah, it did feel like pretty strong magic.
I could attempt to talk with Gond about this. He
And-
is a god of the forge and
I
construction.
don't mean guild level master, I mean world renowned level master.
Hmm.
Perhaps the symbol could dispel this, but, well, she's not here.
Man, I never cast anything like Augury before. This shit's gonna be weird.
All
So
right.
I could speak with the Grant. No, well, if I do it through the icon of Ravenloft, I may get a more true answer than compared to trying to do it normally, because I think the big man would just try and screw with that answer. This ritual would take about a half hour, but I could attempt to get some kind of answer about this tower.
Well, may I suggest in that case that we move maybe a little bit further away from the tower,
Oh,
just
of
in
course. Oh,
case I don't know, this lich might have, I don't know, invisible eyeballs watching us, or I don't
I
know,
mean,
ears with wings. You know, let's not try to make this too easy for the bad guys, shall we?
yeah. Let's camp out or camp out a bit, like away from the wagon, which is away from the tower.
I'll take a
Okay.
short rest in the fucking rain.
All right. So you guys are gonna pitch camp and take a short rest then.
Yes.
I'm not gonna take a short rest. For the first half of the short rest, I'm going to cast. Uh, oh no, the casting time's a minute, but it says you receive an omen about the results of a specific course of action that you plan to take within the next 30 minutes. Okay, that's what that 30 minutes is.
Okay.
My bad.
Aha.
So
Okay.
GM doesn't take into account any possible circumstances might change the outcome, such as casting of additional spells or the loss of gain of companion. Okay, so I never cast divination spells like these before. I don't even know what question to ask. You receive an omen from an otherworldly entity about the results of a specific course of action. So,
If I try this, will it work? No.
well, there's four outcomes: weal for good, woe for bad, weal and woe for both, and nothing for eh.
Okay. Well, we can do this if you want to cast that.
Well, I mean, I got this fancy doohickey. I might as well.
Okay.
Um, I will cast augury with the icon of Ravenloft
All
in
right.
hopes of getting a more accurate answer.
You
And the
channel.
question
Okay. Go ahead and ask the question. I'll describe what happens.
I am asking is that would entering the tower disable our powers? No, wait, no, is that too specific? Shit.
The other side of that anti-magic sun still anti-magic. I don't know.
Okay, it's a specific course of action, so it actually wants specific. Would entering the tower rob us of our powers and therefore lead to our demise?
You channel the divine energy through the focus, and you gather your might, and you can see sun and moons float around you, and above your head a giant, bright, vibrant gear approaches and shines.
Shit. This is oh boy.
And it shines down upon you. And you see forging and weapons made, the art of creation. You can guess that this is a positive omen.
Okay, so after Clem zones out for like the next minute, holy shit. It's just very blunt, just holy fuck. I never casted a spell like that before. That is quite the experience. Well, from the question I gave it about if entering the tower would rob us of our powers and lead us to our demise, the spell offered positive results. The wheel, I believe the term is. Now, whether that means positive that will die or positive that will won't, I'm not entirely sure. I've never casted this spell before. but so far so good. And Clem, who's usually very sure of himself and confident, he's just no dude, no clue. He's
So
Good enough for me.
we're right back where we started then. Good to know.
I mean, I could also ask potentially Gon directly, but that would be my my one highest powered slot for the day.
Maybe save that up for when we need it more desperately.
True. That and like I said, I never. I'm a man of creation and making fire, making metal, you know, usual things. I've never really messed with divination. This is all very new to me. I apologize.
No need to.
Not
Alright.
used to anything so direct.
So, do you all approach the tower?
Sure.
Grass
Well-
and Merrick are kind of staying back a little bit, watching your guys' back as you do this.
Yeah, I'm standing back a little bit too, so
Well,
I'm still studying this thing.
All right. You look at the door. The tower door is made of iron, black raw iron, with no visible handles or hinges. In the middle of the door is a large embossed symbol, a connected series of lines with 8 stick figures set around it. Carved into the initial above the door is a word, Kazan.
what's a Kazan? He says to himself. You know, I probably would. Gonna look back. Hey, Taviel, you know someone by the name of Kazan?
How many people are standing around this door?
Yeah, is Clem the only one up there?
Wait, no, shut up for a second. Shut up for a second. Goat looks at the door, looks at everybody. How many people are we having in our party right now?
6?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah.
Do I
And then
recognize
how
the
many
word?
stick figures are on that door?
You don't recognize the word Kazan, but I'll give you guys here. I'll go ahead and put it in the middle here and give a nice big zoom on it so you guys can see it. I really want you guys to see the detail because that's kind of what the
It's a
point
nice
is.
sigil.
They're doing a little Egyptian dance.
Uh,
Oh God, we have to dance to get our way in.
Yeah, Goat will follow the line, doing the arms up, weird robot thing in order, and then say Kazan.
Okay. So,
Hey.
Goat, you're doing that?
Yep.
You follow the lines and you start to move your hands in the pattern that it does. And at the end, you say Kazan. You see the symbol turn and click, and the door opens.
Yeah. I know.
Oh,
Yes.
I what in the Sam fuck? That worked?
Of course it did.
sometimes it's the simplest solutions.
Ugh, I need to
The
take a page
elegance
out of
of simplicity.
it.
He just grins mischievously as he swans in.
I need to take a page out of your book, Goat. I apologize. Well, no
Yeah,
one's dead yet. Let's go.
Merrick, and Grass both kind of clap. They're like, "Well done."
Clem's just kind of, fuck, okay. Shit.
And then Tharok whispers, "Don't feel too hard about it. Even a blind chicken occasionally finds a corn."
I wouldn't exactly compare Goat to a blind chicken, but I understand what you're trying to
Alright.
say.
So as you guys
Old
enter
Hill
the foyer,
Dwarf proverb.
as you guys enter the foyer, you see some rickety scaffolding and some rotting wooden beams supporting the scaffolding, which groans and creaks with the slightest breeze. A series of ladders and platforms lead to a hole in the northwest wall on the floor, leading up to what appears to be actually the first floor. But then there also appears to be a ladder leading down to the basement, maybe?
This looks as about as. This does not look very structurally sound. Well,
As I said before, this isn't structurally sound. The only thing keeping this together is most likely the magic.
well, up or down first, fellas.
Well, he looks at the rickety scaffolding and everything above us. It looks like it's about to fall. And probably down.
Yeah, down.
Sounds all right. I'll be sure to take ginger steps. Me and my bulking form probably ain't gonna be too well no matter where I step, but I'll do my best, and
Just a moment then.
I'll be the first one to go, so y'all won't have to be under my ass if I fall 30 feet.
Fair enough.
So you
Have you
guys-
got a helmet? As Tharok produces his and puts it on and secures the chin strap.
By the way, as you guys are walking toward the first floor center, you guys do see a flagstone floor is strewn about with debris as you guys actually get into the foyer, because you guys were in the foyer, now you're actually in the first floor. The flagstone floor is strewn with debris, and a few old crates stand near the east wall. A torn curtain to the south partially obscures the tower vestibule. A 5-foot square indention in the center of the floor contains 4 pulleys attached to taut iron chains that stretch up through a similarly sized hole in the rotted wooden ceiling. There's a big square platform. It appears to be almost like an elevator, maybe? Standing next to the chains are 4 tall clay statues.
Hmm.
Oh,
Let's see. Do I know a golem when I see one?
You can roll me a knowledge arcana.
Oh, of course, they're arcane things.
Leadbelcher can roll a knowledge arcana as well.
Yeah, he has a +8. Okay, nice.
I have a +9, and it didn't do me much good.
I can.
I
use
mean,
my
I
magical
can
thing to see
try.
if they're magic. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna see if they're magical at all.
Okay, well, to answer Goat's question really quickly, yeah, they're magical.
What kind?
Alteration,
fuck you.
and let's see here. So that's Tharok on 12. What did you get, Taviel?
Well,
Y'all both got 12.
Well, it's pretty obvious, and I think that's actually going to do it. Yeah, it will do it, actually. Yeah, they're clay golems. And yes, Goat, they have alteration magic on them.
Those are gonna fight us, aren't they?
But the statues?
They appear
I mean,
to currently
maybe.
be deactivated.
So,
Ah,
Do we have rope?
golems, right?
Yes.
does
should
the
try to
elevator
make
go? Does the elevator go up or down? And let's not mess with the statues willy nilly.
If we touch
Hmm.
anything in here, they're just gonna jump.
The elevator goes up.
But we just went
elevator go up.
down.
Actually,
Elevator
bot.
go
No,
down.
I haven't said you guys haven't taken the ladder yet. You're just in the first floor. Remember,
Oh,
when you guys witnessed that
Okay.
description, you were in the foyer. You weren't in the first floor
Okay.
yet. Now that you walk forward into the first room, you guys
gotcha.
saw, what was going on.
Actually, bot. Real quick. Was there any other magic 60 feet of her?
There was the golems, there was the door, and there's technically the elevator itself, but it's nothing threatening. It's just magic to keep it stable. So it
Ah.
seems.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I think I I can't tell if the elevator would be more safer or more deadly.
Yeah, the way up is basically the only way up really is the elevator. The only way down is that little ladder.
Oh, it's a ladder? Oh.
Yeah, well, there's the elevator platform that goes up. There's a hole over to your right that goes down with a ladder.
Should we?
Well, may
save
I
the
suggest
elevator?
something?
Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
Right. I at the very least have me helmet on me, so if some more debris falls on it, it's not gonna knock me unconscious straight away. I should also have a sturdy rope in me pack. He starts looking around, and I'd say I'll get it around me waist, and I'll go down and do some exploring the hole, since I'm not quite as tall and bulky as you guys.
That's definitely an ideal. I'd hate to send you
And
alone.
you guys can keep good hold of the other end, and should I tug thrice, you'll know to pull me up quickly, because I probably will have found some nasty down there.
Yeah, say between a goat and Gist, you should be fine on that department.
Out of character, can this kind of artifice artillerist turn his Eldritch Cannon into, instead of small, tiny, and have it on his shoulder?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Oh, you can? That's neat.
Mhm.
Fucking
Yeah, it
in-
has
in-
several
in-
different forms. Yeah.
In that case, he would like that, because if it is small, it's more likely to accidentally drag him down. Although
Okay.
if it's small enough, yeah.
All right.
You
So you summon the arcane turret, and the spider crawls up onto your back where you have this little slot, and it slits right into your armor.
Yeah, exactly. There are armor slots, it slits in. He gives it a slight pat, and then he starts knotting the rope around his waist.
By God's hammer, that is some amazing design.
Why, thank you. Well, how should I say? I had the advantage of more time than most.
Well, good luck down there. We'll keep an eye out here and see if we can find out anything on here. But we certainly aren't leaving you behind. Don't you fret.
All right.
Well, I would like to have at least one person on the rope, just in case.
Well, I assume
Oh, well,
I assume it will be Grast and Goat on the rope.
yeah.
Perfect.
Oh,
Where?
I know you're a dwarf, but just in case, he's gonna like tap your left gauntlet, and Clem's gonna cast light on it.
All right. So you got some light source.
Perfect.
Okay.
And
So
and yeah, he will try to slowly and steadily go down the ladder, and we shall see how that goes for him.
all right. Grast will roll a athletics check at advantage since Goat is helping.
How far down does the ladder go? Can I see?
It goes pretty far down, actually, almost beyond sight. However, once Leadbelcher gets down to about maybe 30 feet, you can see a ground floor. It appears to be a carved out, almost mine shaft or kind of carved out little tunnel. And
Oh, I have dark vision 60 feet.
oh well, yeah, you see the bottom. It's carved out stone. It's dirt and rock and whatnot, like what you'd see in like a mine shaft kind of. And you see that he hits a path, and the path veers off to the left under, like under the floor. So like you can see it veer off, and you can see down at the bottom. But then as it veers off, you can't see it because you'd be looking through 60 feet of concrete. So
Fair enough.
Just no clip, man.
So all you gotta do is no clip.
Enter console commands in this module.
This is D&D,
Slash-
goddammit.
slash R kill Strahd. No.
Fuck it. Spawn 3 clones of him and just make a shitty Gmod.
Does he get accosted?
No, nothing comes out and sees you. Actually, when you get down to the bottom, Lead Belcher's the only one who sees this, but you look down the tunnel, Lead Belcher, and you can see kind of the shaft going off straight down to a path, and you think you can see some light coming from down the path, but you can't see far enough down to see anything else.
That should make me snicker.
Okay. How long does it take him to recast his Eldritch Tower if he wants it this time in a different size? You know, back to small.
Your cannon or your tower?
I think you only get to summon the cannon like.
Sorry, Eldritch Turret, also known as
Okay,
Eldritch Cannon.
The turret will stay with you until you desummon it or until it's destroyed, but you can only summon it once per day.
No worries. In that case, it stays on the shoulder. I would say he. Oh, I know exactly what he does. He pulls out his. About that.
Great RP pulls out.
Yeah, no,
He
literally-
pulled out his what?
And then all of a sudden the rope gets yanked and he just falls. No.
I'm fine. It's just my cell phone that did that, which my character didn't. Anyway,
You're good, you're good.
so what I was about to say is, he puts his gauntlet in front of him so that it is shining just under the chin, and basically a little bit behind it, he's holding his pistol, so that if anything comes, it just can pop it slightly over and shoot them, and they will not straight away see
Right.
from where the
Well,
shot
just,
is coming.
yeah, just letting you know, now that you're on your feet and you're going horizontal down this tunnel, there is obviously not going to be enough rope to keep going. But you have found ground, and you have found that the ladder does go all the way down. So,
I'm just gonna Misty step down into that hole.
all right, you Misty step down. Tharok, Taviel teleports right next to you.
Ah! Jeepers, man, don't scare me like that.
I figured you might be able to use some help down here.
So far, no enemy engagement. There is definitely a tunnel going further down there, but I was just debating what to do. So far, everything seems okay. I mean, call it a natural predilection, but I am curious to see what's at the other end of that passage.
Ah, yes. Narrow underground passages and the lairs of liches.
Then again, it is less
Excitement.
likely that, well, well, unless there is a kobold's nest down here, at the very least, some of us would have the advantage.
God, do not. Ugh. Terrible little creatures. Well, should we
Now the question
Stand.
is, yes?
I was just gonna he motions to the owl on his shoulder, so should we send a scout ahead?
Oh, yes, it's a familiar, if I remember correctly. Not just a pet.
That is the proper nomenclature, yes.
Oh, good. Feel free to send the silent bastard down there. I know their wings. You can't hear them flap. That'd definitely be good for us.
Excuse me.
Alright, well I will have the owl flying back and forth in the hallway
Okay.
while we
Going
make
down
our
the
way.
hallway, it hits an opening in the hallway. Like there's no door, but there is a doorway. And as it goes in, it appears to be kind of you see a wall, and then a wall on another. It's kind of a weird setup. It's difficult to describe, but basically the owl flies, and it goes through the doorway, and then there's a wall, and then it turns right, and there's a wall. But then it turns kind of diagonal, and then there's not a wall.
if I do remember correctly, hold on, let me. Yeah, I'm just. Oh, yeah, I can see through its eyes.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm describing it to you. I figured you could.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Yeah, you see a wall and then a wall and then another open space. There appear to be torches lit, and it looks to be a hallway. But roll me an intelligence check. Just 1d20 plus your intelligence modifier.
Are you goddamn kidding me right now? This has been going on since Sunday.
To answer your question, Clem, yes, just a moment.
Oh, shit.
Alright, so it's just you two down there, though, right? Nobody else went
Yeah.
down there. Okay. And Goat, yeah, he answers your question. He looks on over at you, Goat, and says, I don't know, maybe. They seem to be pretty smart. As you're thinking, Taviel, you think there might be a maze down here. Either that or whoever built this hallway, this hallway that your owl is flying in, is a very twisted fuck.
Or both.
So I'll just say that to Tharok. Yes, this hallway seems as if someone built a maze down here. Hope we don't run into any minotaurs.
I have in the past. They can be
DM.
really nasty customers.
DM, write that down.
You know what? You know what? I think we have gathered enough information for the second. Let's go up and inform the rest before they start worrying.
Alright, so you go back up the ladder, and you guys are all once again as a big group.
Well, I didn't hear a scream, so apparently it wasn't. Well, I mean, you were startled, but I think that was because of Tavio.
Yep.
It
So he
seems-
comes. Oh,
Go ahead.
yes. You know what? Okay. So I managed to get down there. Nothing engaged me. There seemed to be a further corridor or something, at least dug in the stone. Nothing too out of the ordinary until our mate here send his owl down, and I'll let you tell the rest.
A series of twisting corridors with dead ends. Seems as if someone has built a maze down there.
What's with these mad mages and their mazes? It's ridiculous.
Well, it's a good security system, especially if laden with traps and creatures.
Aye, so before just walking in there like some foolhardy adventurers on their first go, we decided to come up and inform you.
Of course. Would a conduit be in a maze or on the top of the tower, though? I don't. I mean, both seem like decent options.
Well, considering a tower can fall, but the maze
True.
could collapse. I suppose it'd be safer in the maze, but who knows?
Well,
Perhaps
it's
the
supposed to
wizard
radiate
was.
power, right? They'd want to be up.
Go. That's actually a fair point.
But then again, we are starting to guess the motivation of the architect. What if the architect thought that, yes, I shall do a tower. What will people expect? That I'm at the very top, and then, waha, surprise, I'm at the very bottom
We're
because
also.
we fell.
We're
But,
also.
but yeah.
We're also talking about an architect that apparently went mad for, so as far as we know, one of those statues is a conduit. Or, what he had for lunch. We don't know.
Hmm.
Are you a
Good point.
conduit?
You just talk to the statue. Hey, do you hold unimaginable power in an itty bitty living space?
I mean, it was magical, so yeah, she just yells at the golem.
So wait, you actually turn to the golem?
Yeah, I look at the golem. Are you a conduit?
Can I
The-
try to stop her from doing
well,
that?
it's too late. She goes to the golem,
Okay.
and she asks, "Are you a conduit?" And the golem activates, stands up, holds the chain very firmly,
Too late.
looks to her, and says, "Yes."
Cool. Okay, we found the conduit. Can you help
Wait,
us stop the conduit?
Wait, what?
The golem says, I am not the conduit. I am a conduit. Do you wish to use the elevator or not?
We haven't decided yet. We're thinking about maybe a ladder.
When
although
you
a ladder's
when
kinda
you
bad.
decide, talk to me. And the golem
Okay.
deactivates.
All right, thank you. Walks
Ah,
back.
ah.
It's not the conduit, but he's a conduit.
You reckless woman.
But at the same time, Goat's done more work in the past hour than we have in 4 hours talking. So, as far as I'm concerned, Goat's the best member of our
Hey.
team so far.
What can I say? What can we say? Goat is the goat.
Goat is a goat!
It just
Can I-
seems as if you just act with never putting any thought behind it.
Still waters run deep.
It's either that or your pool of luck is damn near a puddle.
Many mischiefs in this world.
But
Well-
anyway, we have gained some more information. So well done, I guess. But please try to invest 2 lambs shakes of a
The-
tail before you act next
The
time.
golem reactivates, and it looks back at you guys, and says,
Was the lamb shakes the key word?
and no, and it says, "Name is Tim," and then it deactivates again.
Ah!
Sorry, Tim. Oh, wait, Tim. Walks back over. You know
Yes.
which direction? You know the magic thing that's in this tower? Is it up or down?
Golem tilts its head at you like a puppy dog.
The conduit that Strahd is using to
Tilts
radiate
its head
his
even
power.
more.
Okay. It's just an elevator, man. I get that.
Bro, I'm just a bellhop. The fuck you talking about?
Just
I
slaps Go on the back of whatever he can
On the
actually
butt.
reach with his side. Yeah. Oh, you know what? On the end, and just says, "Don't say his name."
Don't slap her ass. That's mean.
Okay, he slaps her shoulder, where the shoulder of the goat would be, and just goes like, "Don't say his name."
All right. So as you're all kind of discussing that, you hear a loud
Fuck.
come from down below.
Well, something just happened.
Hey, Tim. You know what that was?
Tim does not activate.
Okay.
Let the man rest. He's got hard work doing that.
I will send my owl back down the hole to fly around.
Flies in the wall. Oof.
Okay. You send the
Owl
owl back
flies
down the
down.
hole, and you
So
try.
Taviel zones out for a minute.
Yeah. Do you try and navigate the maze at all?
I suppose, yeah.
Okay.
I can only go like 100 feet or so.
Oh, okay. So you lose sight of the owl when it goes into the maze. But Taviel, when your owl goes into the maze, you're thinking about recalling it back. And something kills it.
Well, it seems something has awoken.
Oh boy. Well,
As he like suddenly snaps out of his trance.
Merrick draws his moon-touched scimitar, and then Grast draws his greatsword, or not his greatsword, his longsword, and his shield out. And they both look down the hole, and they both look at you guys, and they say, "Well, are we going down or up?"
Well, if there's an active enemy presence down there, that must mean it's defending something, so...
As I said, mazes are great security.
All right.
Let's go splunking. Why not?
Merrick gives a chuckle, and he jumps. He literally just jumps straight down the hole. And then and then he uses his boots of levitate, and he levitates down.
Oh, wait, that was the Dragonborn?
No, that was
No.
Merrick. That was the Drow.
Yeah.
The Dragonborn actually does something else. He actually jumps down, and on the side of the hole, he sticks his sword in, and he does that whole thing where like you glide, like you glide down with your sword, like glide down on the side, and then he does a
Me-
backflip, and he lands on the ground.
Wait. What was his name again?
Is that
the-
sword made of adamantine?
It is Taviel. You can see that his armor, his shield, his sword, and his tattoo are all magical.
Boy,
And,
I don't...
And ironically, yes, the sword is actually adamantine now that I look at it.
Boy, I don't care what your sword is made out of. Don't do that.
They both look down at you from down on the shaft, and they're like, "Come on down!"
Goat walks up. Oh,
Wait,
what's
wait,
the
wait,
guy's
wait.
name?
Hold the fuck up. Did gravity reverse? No, I'm joking.
No, goat. His name is the Dragonsborn name is Grast. The Drow's name is Merrick.
Grass.
Yeah.
Catch. She jumps down.
Okay. 1, 2. He rolls at advantage. So yeah, he rolls a 30 to catch you. He catches you no
God.
problem.
Can't y'all just take the fucking ladder?
Taviel. He also appears to have a magic belt.
Nice.
Go
I'm just gonna go down by ladder.
Okay.
Whee!
Same.
Yeah,
Alright, so you
Clem's
guys all
gonna
have-
be a fucking
Yeah, so
ladder.
Goat, he literally catches you like without even like you know how sometimes when someone catches something really heavy, like they'll kind of go with it,
Yeah.
like it helps, cushion yourself. He catches you, he doesn't even twitch. It's just like catches you.
Y'all get palmed by a dragonborn.
Goat looks at him, flicks his nose. Nice.
He chuckles a bit as a little bit of smoke comes out of his mouth, and he sets you down. And as you all enter the kind of entrance of the maze, you guys hear from deep inside the maze a loud "Roar!"
Oh.
And that is where we will end the session. Thank
All right.
for
Well,
watching.
I'm gonna go eat dinner that I'm late for.